Everyone, Jason with PW Sauna here. As you guys know, it's been very cold outside, and I wanted to share with you guys a quick little tip on what to do if your sauna stops heating in the cold. And this is becoming a common occurrence, and this more or less references outdoor saunas that don't have a secondary heat source. So meaning when it's 0 degrees outside, the sauna is also at 0 degrees. So follow along and I'll show you guys a quick tip. All right, so this panel right here, this plate you see on the side, so this in particular is an EK stove. All of their stoves, all of their electric stoves are going to have the same feature. They're going to feature this plate on the side. So basically what happens is behind here there's a capillary tube that serves as an overheat sensor, which is what this button is for. When you click this, if the sauna trips, if it gets too hot, it senses it, shuts it off, and it'll turn this, it'll flip this, trip this breaker. And when you go set it, sometimes it's not going to work, especially in these cold situations. So what happens is this capillary tube actually can freeze because it has some gas in it. So here's a quick fix. You can take this, there's 2 Allen heads you got to take off, 2 Allen screws. To remove these screws, as you can see behind there, in this instance it has 2 of them. These are the capillary tubes, so now you can pull these out. Sometimes they might need a little bit of persistence. You do the same thing with the other one. Like I said, in some cases you're only going to have 1 of these, not 2. So now this component, this capillary tube you see right here, is the part that actually freezes. So now if you take this tube and set it in cold or in warm water for, it could be anywhere from 30 seconds, could be, a minute and a half. Put it in there, it'll thaw this tube out. And then what you do from there is you go turn your stove on so it's heating, and you come and click this red button right here. You click it, and you'll start to hear the elements kick on and start working again. And now, once that's done, push this capillary tube back into place. Now tuck these wires. These wires are meant to be tucked behind there. There's also a slot down here for the wires to go into. Just make sure your wires stay out of the way of where your screws are going in. And now you just repeat the process. A bit tricky getting that started in there. It's not like you have to crank on these things either. Just get them somewhat snug so they're not going to fall off. Put the top screw in. Again, just snug it up. It doesn't have to be extremely tight. And then now you get this nice clean look where the capillary tubes are hidden. But this will be a quick fix. And unfortunately, UL requires this. And with not having a secondary heat source in your sauna, there's a good chance that this could happen if it's prolonged periods of cold weather. And that's mainly like, below freezing, below 10, 15 degrees for multiple days in a row. You might see something like this happen. You also might not. It just depends on how frequently it gets used. And, of course, there's some other variables there too. But this will be a quick fix to getting that taken care of to get your sauna working. So it's not alarming. Just know that it's normal. Every manufacturer is dealing with this as outdoor saunas become more and more popular. And then with that, people are also introducing electric saunas into the outdoor spaces in the modular units that don't have a secondary heat source. So hopefully this helps.